Today we're driving the 2024 BMW X5M Competition. This one's painted in Santorini blue and looks absolutely stunning. There's a few changes for the 2024 X5M. We've got different front and rear fascias and the addition of a mild hybrid 48 volt system. So we've got a little bit of torque fill here. 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 that makes 617 horsepower. Of course, that's set to all four wheels, though it does have a track rear-wheel drive drift mode, which is very exciting. Think of this as basically an M5, but in lifted SUV form. So let's hop inside. We'll walk you around this X5M Competition a little bit, and then we'll take you for a drive and give you guys some driving impressions. Hear that 4.4 liter V8 come to life. Very familiar looking interior. Very nice, very svelte. Excellent materials. Really nice surfacing. And of course we get the new iDrive 8 system here as well that we've seen in a lot of newer BMWs. Pretty responsive touchscreen, a bit more complicated climate controls, but once you do adapt and get used to the system, it's okay, it's all right. Lots of carbon fiber here. The materials, everything in here feels top-notch. Kind of a funky paddle shifter though. Got this kind of plastic red rubber on the back. Not sure how I feel about it. M1 and M2 buttons to set your desired M drive modes. We've got M1 set to sport in engine and chassis. M2 goes full off M dynamic mode, sport plus and sport in everything from steering to brakes to suspension and engine tuning. Pretty exciting stuff. We've got wireless charging, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, all the tech in this X5M that you would come to expect and want. This is just a quick drive today. We've got some pretty nice roads out here in Greenville, South Carolina, so we'll use those to our advantage instead of our usual entrance and exit ramps. This comes with the Bowers and Wilkins sound system. Starting price is $123,000. This is spec'd up to $141,000 with a few options. We'll put all the details in the description. 22-inch wheels in the rear, 21s in the front. 295/35 R21s, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, massive brakes, all steel, red calipers, that's an option. 315/30 R22s in the rear. I love these tire graphics. We've got this kind of almost like a matte finish on the tire and it just absorbs all the light, makes it look super dark. Love a cool sidewall graphic from Michelin. Quad exhaust tips, blacked out. Let's take a look in the back here. Split tailgate, as is typical with the X5. Slightly sticky operation there, that's okay. Compact spare tire, and a lot of room to put things in the back of this X5M. Very practical, very high performance, very exciting to get behind the wheel of this today. I just love the Santorini blue, it is stunning. Nice big panoramic sunroof. We will have to get one of these back in Michigan and do a POV night drive. I'm sure with the ambient lighting, it looks fantastic inside. A little bit of a spot here to put a phone or tablet attachment for rear entertainment. We've got rear climate control, heated seats back here, pretty good visibility. Window shades, and just that classic corporate BMW M interior. Taking some inspiration here from the XM with some graphics on the dash. Overall, I think this is a pretty smart looking SUV. BMW hasn't really done anything here to ruin the styling. Really aggressive stance, love the wheels. The staggered fitment is pretty cool too. And the new front grille looks really sharp. A lot of open space to let in air and allow for cooling. There are just cooling elements everywhere in the front of this X5M. Headlights look really awesome. BMW LEDs. Let's take a quick look under the hood and then we'll go for a drive. Just a 2X pull. Don't have to worry about a hood latch. Alright. Lots of cross bracing here. Some plastic over the engine cover. Those 2 intakes. I love it. We have an active exhaust, adaptive suspension. Good looking parking cameras too. Looks like here's substitute TOPher in a BMW XM.
Greetings.
Greetings.
You're very blue and I'm very green.
Yes, Santorini blue.
Ah, this is Anglesey green, individual.
Anglesey?
Anglesey?
Anglesey.
Is that how you say it?
In it. Anglesey in it.
Anglesey.
Anglesey. It's a circuit. It's a racetrack.
Oh, is it?
Anglesey.
Anglesey. Thank you for saving me before I started recording and
I think
said
it's
it wrong.
Anglesey.
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 But this has 738 horsepower.
Wow.
It's 100 more than the regular XM.
Red label.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Cool.
So,
This has only 617 horsepower.
I don't know how you're going to be able to get out of your own way.
I know. Cool. Well,
All right, well, have fun.
thanks. We'll see you later.
See you back at HQ.
Okay. I like that when you start up this X5M, it defaults to the exhaust being open. This V8 has such a menacing growl to it, even at low speeds. Pretty aggressive throttle tuning, even in efficient and comfort mode. This X5M never really lets you forget what you're in and that you're in a pretty high performance vehicle. We have ultra smooth roads out here in South Carolina, but immediately I'm noticing this isn't as punishing or stiff, or maybe even, dare I say, uncomfortable as something like the X3M's suspension. It's still a little bit harsh and rough, but overall this is a more comfortable SUV, as I think it should be, especially for the price point. A little bit of piped in engine noise there in sport mode. Not the most convincing V8 sound. But a noise we've heard before from the M5 and other vehicles with this 4.4 liter V8. Steering has a nice heft to it. You can really feel the wide, aggressive stance of this X5M on the road. Still, it's not overly large, it's easy to place. The last X5M I drove was actually an X6M, and it was around Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Pretty incredible driving experience on track. Really well sorted chassis. can feel the difference here with this new X5M. It's just a bit more smoothed out, more comfortable. A bit more power, a bit more refinement, of course a lot more tech. I love that BMW still gives us control of our gears down here with the shifter. If you don't want to use the paddles, you don't have to. And of course, it's the proper shift direction. Forward to downshift, back to upshift. Just like a race car. As you're accelerating, you want to be able to pull back on that shifter. It just makes sense. So, some first impressions here. This is an SUV with a personality. It has the same unflappable character and performance of the M5, but in a more practical and I guess popular packaging form. Dynamically, it's really, really good. So composed, really well refined. Maybe not as raw or visceral as previous generations. This 8-speed automatic is a little bit lazy on some of its downshifts, but it doesn't really affect the performance. There is so much capability here from this X5M. Brakes feel fantastic. I love the weight of the steering. For an SUV, there's even a decent amount of feedback and feel here. There really isn't a whole lot that's disagreeable about the driving experience. The only thing that's holding me back from loving this is I'm not convinced on the noise. It's just a bit strange. That's something that really sets AMGs apart in this class, is they sound like proper V8s. And I don't know what this sounds like. Just brutal acceleration. I love it. Let's go back into comfort mode, a more reasonable drive mode. Let things calm down a little bit. And see if this X5M can be comfortable. Something that's interesting about BMW steering is that you actually get quite a lot of road texture feel through the wheel. but not necessarily that much steering feel of grip at the limit. It gets almost number the harder you push it, which is a bit counterintuitive, a bit strange. But the road texture over rougher pavement kind of gives you the impression that this does have really good steering feel. And I think that's kind of something that does set BMW steering apart from other manufacturers. It's just different. You have to kind of get used to it. I like the information that it transmits on road texture. It's just I wish when you're driving these cars hard, they had just a little bit more steering feel. And I know they can do it because they do it with their CS models. Here's what our key fob looks like. Good weight to it, nice high quality. Yeah, that feels nice. Stop start. You can remote start, lock, unlock, pop the tailgate, panic button. It's all there, very clearly laid out. If you can afford it, this would be a great daily driver. This is an amazing SUV. You can haul the family around, take it to the racetrack on weekends if that's your thing, and the rest of the time, it's just an amazing thing to experience all the time. It's fun to drive at a lot of different speeds, from legal to not so legal, and it looks good still. BMW hasn't done anything crazy with the styling here. It's still a traditional looking BMW product. They've gone through, they've updated the interior with a lot of new tech. We've got screens everywhere, but we still have a lot of physical controls, which is really nice. We're not seeing that in a lot of newer BMW models. Even though this has iDrive 8, you can go in, you can change drive modes, you can set everything to your heart's desire. You pretty much just need CarPlay, an initial time to set up the vehicle with your preferences and customization. And it is a bit sad to see the demise of physical climate control buttons, but honestly, auto programming seems to do the job pretty well, and you shouldn't need to do too much with that aside from changing temperatures. It would be nice to get some physical controls for our heated and ventilated seats, but such is life. You can still go in there quickly and change those settings. Otherwise, I don't really have a whole lot to complain about with this car. We haven't really driven it on super bumpy roads today, so I can't comment on its ride quality back in Michigan, but we'll have to spend some more time with one of these back in Detroit and kind of comment on it from there and give you guys some more longer-term driving impressions. One other thing I'll mention is that the 48-volt mild hybrid system in this X5M is just fantastic. It really improves throttle response. It gives this engine an immediacy that just gives you smooth, torquey power delivery on demand. You can be sitting at 2,000 RPM, 35 miles an hour, give it a boot full, and you feel kind of an immediate influx of torque. And then once those turbos spool up, you've got all the power you could want. But it's a pretty cool system. It works really well in back roads. It works really well in daily driving. It's a small change that does improve the driving experience and make this a pretty fun SUV to drive. I think that'll be it for now. Thanks so much for watching. We're going to make our commute back to the hotel and test out some more BMW products. We're engaging in BMW's Test Fest this week, so we've got about 120 vehicles available to us to drive from the whole BMW lineup. The biggest one and probably the most anticipated is the new BMW 5 Series. So we'll get some time behind the wheel on that. Stay tuned for those videos. But until then, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. I guess we could end with a quick sound system test of this Bowers and Wilkins. Sounds about the same as many other Bowers & Wilkins units that we've listened to in BMWs. Not a ton of bass, but you can always get some more with adjustments. And it's a decent sound system, but nowhere near class leading. So back at the hotel, this is a quick comparison here between the X5M and X6M, which we conveniently have next to each other. You can see interiors, front ends, very, very similar. All the differences are in the back, and I definitely prefer the packaging and practical factor of the X6M. It's just higher roofline, more usable space inside, better headroom. Yes, the X6M is definitely sportier looking, but if you're already getting an SUV, why not have the form factor? And you can just see the amount of difference of space that they've chopped off the top of the X6M. And in my mind, X5M, much better looking vehicle. Let's pop the tailgates and compare here. Yeah, pretty sizable difference in height. And of course the X5M has a split tailgate here, which is very nice to use when it works as a seat or a bench or a rest or a table. All things being the same, I definitely have the X5M.